Everything you own is in the middle of the table. Your house, your savings, 6 years of your life, stacked in chips under one hard light, riding on a card that hasn't even been dealt yet. Across from you sits the best player alive, the man they say no one can read. Right now, he's staring at your face, hunting for a tell, which is almost funny. Because reading faces is the one thing you do better than anyone breathing, and it has already made you rich. You will win this hand. You always win. That is exactly the problem, because the same nerve that lets you shove everything you own onto nothing against the best in the world is the one that will not let you stand up and walk away. Not from the table, and not when it costs you the only person who ever loved the man behind the cards. This is your life. It started with a single coin you were forbidden to spend. Go back to a boy at a kitchen table in a town where the work was drying up. Your father is the most careful man you will ever know. He doesn't drink it, doesn't bet it, doesn't risk a dime of it. Every week he brings his check home, and every week he does everything right. He carries $1 silver in his pocket, old worn smooth, and once when you reach for it, he folds your small hand around it and gives you the only piece of wisdom he ever will. Everything in this life is a gamble, son. All of it. So you keep one thing back, one thing you love too much to ever lose, and you never, ever put it on the table, no matter what's in your hand. I carry this to remember. One day, you'll have your own. You believe him. You believe that careful keeps you safe. And then you watch the careful man lose anyway. The mill closes. A decision made in a city he's never seen, by men who will never know his name. And your father, who did everything right, who never gambled a dime, loses all of it. The savings, the house, the straight back. He sat out every hand of his life, and the game cleaned him out regardless. Something in you decides at that kitchen table, watching him stare at the wall. If the careful man loses too, if the house takes the safe and the reckless alike, then you will not sit out. You will play. But you have one thing your father never had. At cards with the older boys, you start to see it. The kid who taps the table when he's strong, the one who goes still when he's weak, the flicker of a swallow before a lie. You don't read the cards, you read the people, the fear, the bluff, the want, sitting right there on their faces where they'd swear it isn't. By the time you're 16, no one in town will play you for real money. You think you've found the one game the house can't beat? You're half right. It's the other half that takes everything. You leave town with bus fare and the silver dollar, and you go to where the money is. You start in the back of a pool hall, in the kind of game where the lights buzz, and the money is small and the men are dangerous. You lose the first night, you're young, and you learn the hard way that the best read on earth means nothing if you can't stop your own hand from pushing. But you adjust, you watch, and the reads start to pay. A few $100s, then a few thousand. More money than your careful father ever held at one time. And here's the thing you do that none of them do. You don't spend it. Not the car, not the watch. You take every dollar you win and you buy your way into a bigger game. A tougher room, sharper players, deeper pockets. Win, move up. Win, move up. Each table a rung, and at each rung the men have more money and better faces, and yours is the only reed that climbs with them. By 22, you're in the city, in the cash games where a bad night costs more than your father earned in a year, and a good one buys a house you'll never bother to own. And you feel it now, the thing you really play for. It isn't the money, it's the half second when you look across the felt and know, when the whole world narrows to one man's face and you can see straight through it. You feel most alive with everything on the line. That should have frightened you, because the same wiring has a second edge. When you're up, way up, stand up and walk away money, you cannot leave. You stay. You tell yourself one more hand, and the one more becomes dawn. And some nights, you hand it all back and claw it back bigger, and the clawing back feels even better than the winning ever did. There is a hole in you the size of a closed mill, and no pot has ever been big enough to fill it. Her name is Nadia, and she is the first thing in years you want more than the next hand. She waits up. She learns the look that means you're up, and the worst look that means you're winning and won't leave. She never asks you to quit the game. She asks you only once, quietly, to learn how to walk away while you're ahead, which is the single move of all the moves in the world you have never once been able to make. Promise me, she says, that there's a number, that somewhere there's enough, and when you hit it, you stand up. And you promise her, you mean it when you say it. The reeds carry you all the way to the room at the top, a private game in a suite with no clock, where the men around the felt own buildings, and they look at the lean kid in the cheap jacket and see easy money. By dawn, you've taken so much of it that they've stopped smiling. Your name starts to mean something in rooms you've never walked into. The bankroll crosses $250,000, then $1 million, and still, every single night, you go looking for the one face you haven't read yet. You find it in a back room you had to be invited to twice. They call him the Sphinx, an old man with a face like a shut door, the one player alive no one has ever read. The pot grows all night, hand after hand, until it's just the two of you, heads up, and the rest of the table is only watching. And then comes the hand, the one from the very start of this story. You look down at the ace and king of hearts. The flop falls the queen of hearts, the jack of hearts, the four of spades. And just like that, you are one card from everything. Any heart gives you the nut flush. Any 10 gives you the straight, a pile of outs, and not one of them home yet. The turn is the 7 of spades, a brick. You have nothing made, a hand that is all promise and no proof, and you slide every chip you own into the middle anyway. The Sphinx goes still, and across the room, against the back wall, sits Nadia, who came to watch you tonight, because earlier this evening you promised her that if you won, you were done. The Sphinx does not move. A minute passes like a year. You don't look at the board or the pot or the card waiting face down on the deck. You look at him, at a face that's been a shut door for 40 years, and for the first time, you watch it crack. A muscle tightening at the corner of the jaw, the same flinch you read on a boy's face a lifetime ago, in a town that's gone now, and the whole hand opens up to you. He flopped top 2 pair, queens and jacks, a monster, and he is too proud and too deep to fold it, and he is sitting there praying that the kid across the felt is bluffing. You're not bluffing, you just don't have it yet. Call, you tell him, soft, almost kind, and he does, and turns over the queen and jack of clubs, exactly what you read. For one card, you are dead behind. The dealer thumbs the last card off the deck and turns it over slow. The whole room leans in at once, and it falls a heart, the 3 of hearts, and the flush comes home, ace high, the nuts, and the old man's 2 pair is suddenly worth nothing at all. And the sound that breaks out of that room is a sound you will spend the rest of your life trying to hear again. You did it. You read the unreadable man, you put him all in on a draw, and dared the deck to save you. And it did. The biggest pot anyone at that table had ever seen, and the first real piece of a fortune that will, in time, climb past $50 million. You are, at 26, untouchable. And here is the exact moment it costs you everything. The chips are still sliding towards you, the room still roaring, and you feel your eyes move, not to Nadia against the wall, but to the man 2 seats down who runs the biggest game on the coast, the one room you've never been let into next. Before this pot is even counted, you are already gone to the next one. You look up for Nadia. She is already standing, and the look on her face is not anger. It is the face of someone who finally has her answer, who watched you win the hand you swore would be the last, and watched you leave the table in your mind before your own chips had stopped moving. There was never going to be a number. She knew it before you did. She doesn't make a scene. She picks up her coat and goes, and you let her go, you who have never let a single chip go, because the one move you could have made for her was fold, and folding is the one thing your hands were never built to do. The years are kind to your bankroll and to nothing else. The name becomes a legend. The legend becomes $50 million. The $50 million buys a silence you keep trying to fill with bigger and bigger games. You are the best in the world at reading the one thing across a table, and the worst in the world at the one thing she asked you for. You sit down, night after night, chasing the feeling of that single card falling your way. And no pot, in all the years that follow, ever sounds the way that one did. You did keep one promise. In a whole life of pushing everything you own into the middle, there is one thing you never once put on the table. The old silver dollar, worn smooth, still in your pocket. But sitting alone one night, behind a stack taller than anything your father could have dreamed, you finally understand what he was trying to tell you at that kitchen table. The coin was never the thing. Only the reminder. The one thing a man keeps off the table was never meant to be a silver dollar. It was meant to be her. Your father guarded a coin to remember the rule. You guarded the coin and forgot it, and you bet her instead, a little at a time, on every hand after the one that should have been the last. You kept the dollar. You lost the only thing it ever stood for. You didn't choose the gambler's path. You were the gambler's path. It is the only road to wealth that asks for nerve in the place of patience. The will to put everything you have on a hand that isn't even made, and the eye to know, a half second before anyone else, exactly how it ends. It made you rich in rooms that should have eaten you alive, and the price is written into the gift itself. The same wiring that let you push it all in without blinking is the wiring that could never, ever fold. Not the hand, not the night, not the next game, not the life. You could read any man's face on earth except the one across your own kitchen table, asking you for a number. You won every pot that didn't matter, and the one hand you needed to lose on purpose. Her you could not put down. That is not a flaw in the path. That is the path. So here is the only question left, now that the chips are counted and the room is empty. If you knew the gift would make you untouchable, and that you'd spend the rest of your life alone behind the tallest stack in the room, chasing a sound you'd never hear again, would you still push it all in? There are 11 other paths to the life you're imagining. Some cost less than this one. Most are slower. Not one of them feels like the river. The next one is already dealing.